Assalamualaikum, dear students, and hi everyone. I hope you are well. For this video, I will teach on circumference and area of circle, which is a new topic for on Thursday, 19 August 2021. Okay, so for this video, I want you to have your pen, foolscap paper, and calculator ready for you to write down your working. Our lesson objective today is for you to be able to understand and use correctly the vocabulary for parts of a circle, namely center, radius, diameter, circumference, arc, chord, and sector. And secondly, you need to evaluate area and perimeter of circle. So now let's start with a starter question, which is a question that you already know and familiar with. We already learned this before we started online learning, where you need to evaluate area and perimeter of the given figure here. Okay, so pause this video, take about 5 minutes to do this question before I discuss the solution. Welcome back, students. So this is where I will show the solution by labeling the diagram first of the unknown site here. So I labeled here 2 centimeter, where I get it from 5 centimeter minus by 3 centimeter to get 2 centimeter. As for the 3 centimeter here, as this length is 8 centimeter, and we know that this length here is 5 centimeter, so the remaining part will be 3 centimeter. Let's find the area first. So here you can see I divided the diagram first into 2 parts, where I labeled this as A and B. Okay, so this is the area, 5 centimeter times by 2 centimeter for part A here, and part B is where I have 3 centimeter multiplied by 8 centimeter to get 10 plus 24 centimeter square, and reaching the final answer of 34 centimeter square. Remember, area unitnya mesti centimeter square or any unit square. Okay. As for the perimeter, as we already labeled each of the sides here, I just add up all the numbers to get 26 centimeter. You see, perimeter, there's no squared unit here, right? Remember that. Area, you have to square the unit. Perimeter, you don't have to square the unit. So now moving on to the parts of our circle, where I have here a circle, and this length from the edge of a circle to another edge of the circle here, passing through the center, is what we call as the diameter. Okay, this is your center here. And if I go from the origin or the center here to the edge, is what we call as the radius. As for surrounding the shape here is what I called as the circumference. Okay. Moving on to the inner part of the circle, if I cut the circle from here to here, from edge to edge of a part, so this is what I called segment, like I shaded here. The green part is what we call as the minor segment, and this part will be called as the major segment. Okay, the length B and C, since it cut from edge to another edge, but this is not a diameter. Okay, this is what I called as chord. So the length BC is what I identified as chord. Okay, and the curved part here is what I identified to be as the arc. Okay, so please remember, the shaded area here is what I called as the minor segment, and the part remaining that are not shaded is what I called as the major segment. As for sector, you can see this is like a pizza. Okay, so the shaded part here is what I call as a minor sector. Okay, the remaining that are not shaded is what I call as the major sector. Okay, so now a quick quiz by identifying parts of the circle. Okay, so as you can see, I circled the part where you need to identify the parts of the circle. Okay, let's take about 5 minutes for you to identify first. Pause the video. Okay. All right. Welcome back again. I'm sure you have your answers ready. So the first part, okay, is what I called as the sector. Like I said, it's like a pizza being cut into triangle. Okay. As for the second part here, it's also a pizza, but it's being cut from the front here to the back. So this is what we call as the segment. Okay. As for the third part here, third question, is the length AB that passes through the center. So this is what we call as the diameter. As for question number 4, it starts from the center to the edge of the circle, which we call this as radius. Okay? Moving on. So now we're proceeding with area and circumference of a whole circle. So this is the formula that you need to know for area of whole circle. What I meant by a whole circle is when we have a full circle here and you need to evaluate for the area and the circumference. Okay, so the formula given is pi r squared. Okay, r is the radius here, which you need to square times by pi. Pi can be 3.142 or 22 out of 7. Okay, as for the circumference, we are trying to find what is the value of the circumference circle in the unit is not square. Okay, it's similar like perimeter, right? So this is where you have to remember the formula for circumference circle is 2 pi r or pi d. Okay. As for semicircle, semicircle means that it is half of a whole circle. So as you can see here, this is a full circle which I cut into half, right? So now the half circle is what we identified as a semicircle. And the area from the whole circle just now, right? We have pi r squared. So since this is half circle, we only need to add half in front of the formula. So now we have half times by pi r squared. Okay. As for the circumference, again, the formula for circumference of circle is 2 pi r for a whole circle, as we are only finding the circumference of a half, so we need to add half in front. So we cancel off 2 with 2 because it's top and bottom, and we are left with pi times by r to get pi r. Okay, but circumference of semicircle only covers the curved part only. If you want to find perimeter of a semicircle, you have to find for circumference of the curved part plus diameter. Okay, so you can see here. So this is the circumference of the semicircle. It does not cover the whole semicircle, as you can see here. So it only covers here the curved part. So we have to add with diameter to find for the perimeter of the semicircle. Next one is a quadrant. Again, quadrant of a circle is 1 out of 4, 1 over 4. So we have a circle, we're cutting it into 4. So I'm only taking this sector only. Okay, 90 degree is here, right? Again, the formula for a whole circle to find for area of a whole circle is pi r squared. So we just need to add 1 over 4 in front of the pi r squared. So we combine this to get 1 over 4 or 1 out of 4 times by pi r squared. Okay, as for the circumference, again, we are using from the whole circle punya formula of circumference. We put it here and we only add 1 over 4 in front, which we cancel off 4 and 2 to get half pi r. Okay. Again, just similar as semicircle, in order for us to find for perimeter of quadrant. It's not the same, perimeter and circumference is not the same. Perimeter is looking for sum of all sides. Circumference is only focusing on the curved part here. So again, for perimeter, you need to find for the circumference of quadrant circle here using this formula. Then you have to add with radius 1 here and another radius here. To get the formula, perimeter equals to circumference plus radius plus